This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 10.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Lubbock City leaders want to get back to the basics as they set priorities for the next year. The council approved those priorities in its latest meeting, the first time for this new council that was seated this past spring.
KCBD News Channel 11's Case Wilbanks joins us with the direction they hope to take the city. Case?
And Karen and Abner, it may be back to basics in a sense, but it's also a look to future growth and the basic city functions that come with it.
This is a year that we need to start chopping wood.
With hundreds of millions of dollars in public projects completed or underway in the past few years, city leaders want to turn to core services as the council sets priorities.
To focus back to some of these basics and start focusing on doing some of these things better, tightening the ship up so to speak.
And for this council, that begins with public safety and a new focus on animal services within that topic in light of a recent deadly dog attack.
Given the more recent events and some that have been a few years ago, I think it's something that we definitely need to begin addressing.
Other council members want to see vagrancy enforcement a priority.
Vagrants that harass our businesses are an issue.
And the council wants to make public health more mobile and get it into neighborhoods and ensure the diversion center is prepared to help with issues such as homelessness.
I don't know if StarCare realizes that a lot of the people who are going to be coming out there are homeless.
The council prioritizes fiscal discipline and community improvement with a focus on the recently finished park plan and the Canyon Lakes Trail System, as well as neighborhood planning.
I think that my neighborhoods have they've not been a priority.
From those neighborhoods to downtown, the city wants to redevelop, and some council members want to make sure the central part of the city is remembered.
I get concerned when our city keeps growing so far to the south. I'd like to see a business development and city growth that keeps the center of Lubbock the center of Lubbock.
But as the city does grow, wherever that may be, proactive infrastructure development makes the list.
For sure, infrastructure. Like I said, that's my big one. We are behind.
And the city manager does not want Lubbock to fall behind on a water supply, pointing to Lake 7, not just as a future recreation area in East Lubbock, but also that water source.
You have got a great water supply, you have a great plan, and you have a great future. But we are nearing the point of making the decision on what is the next strategy we implement.
And finally on the list is communication with citizens, like the city's social media, website, and app, but also communication of information on the upcoming transition to the electric competition. Karen?
Thank you, Case.